I hope this goes well. Hello, my name is Alana. Welcome to my channel. Let's do some makeup. First things first though, I need to get my hair out of my way. No glasses, no hair out of my way. My mirror light is on. I have like 3 or 4 mirrors behind my camera, plus I have my camera like viewer thing flipped up so that it's right on top of my actual lens. So if you see me looking up or you see me looking behind, I'm looking at a mirror, I'm looking at myself to make sure that what you see is good. So for my first look on my page, I did want to show you guys how I did my quote-unquote everyday makeup, but also give you guys a chance to get to know me and talk with me, chit chat. My hair looks dead, but the actual problem with my hair is not my hair, it's with me. I washed it, shampooed it, and for whatever reason didn't condition it, and so it looks crazy. But I promise you, my hair isn't good. My hair is safe. It's safe with me. So I go in with my Mercier Hydrating Primer, and then I go in with this Joyce Bonelli. I'm pretty sure this is like a blurring primer. This stuff is amazing. I'm going with about that much. I don't need a lot. I should have took off my rings, but since I only use my fingertips, I'll be fine. I go in with my hydrating primer pretty much everywhere. I do emphasize it under my eyes because I have fine lines. And just like that with and with Joyce Bonelli. I also really love this packaging, but with my Joyce Bonelli, don't go here and I don't go in my lash lines, and you will see why. I do have 2 Born This Way concealers. Neither one of them are my shade, obviously. But I'm gonna go on with this darker one, and I'm just gonna use it to spot correct really fast. This is in the shade Spiced Rum. We're looking good. We're looking good. But yeah, I am 28 years old. I am a fire sign. I have an amazing boyfriend. We've been together for a year. I have the most amazing friends. Even though I feel like all of my close friends, I don't see a lot of my close friends very often, but love y'all. I don't have any pets. I will say though, I don't have a problem with anything. Like, I love dogs and I love cats, but I think I would prefer cats over dogs. I like the fact that they're very independent, but you cannot cross their boundaries, which is not to say that you should cross boundaries with dogs, you know what I mean? But I feel like with cats, you kind of have to like earn their respect in a way. It's a lot easier to earn love and admiration from dogs, but cats will make you work for it. And I think that's why I like cats so much. I am a corporate girly. It's a good job. I love my job. I love my boss. I love my team. They're the bee's knees. I love my team. I can't really talk to you guys about what I do at work, but just know I love my job. Okay, I do love my corporate job. The next step, now that I've spot concealed, is I'm gonna go in and do my under eyes and my fine lines. You don't have to do it on this step specifically. I just feel like it's easier to do this first and then go in and do the rest of my base, but do it however you see fit. I'm just gonna show you guys how I do mine. But this is the Juvia Place Eye Prep Eye Prime Eye Primer in the shade 2. It looks a little crazy. I've had it for a while, just a little bit of it. back here. I always make too much of this cocktail, but that's how much you need. Sephora, the Sephora collection Best Skin Ever concealer, and this is in the shade 55N. I do love her. I'm still struggling to understand my undertones because in camera I feel like I look warm, but I don't know how to like I feel like I look warm, right? But in reality, I feel like when I put my makeup on and I do warm makeup, the rest of my body looks cool. And then when I do cool tone makeup, my face kind of looks gray. And I don't know if I'm neutral or what. And they say check your veins and stuff like that, but I don't know what my veins are supposed to be telling me because my veins don't make it any easier. So just mixing it until you get about that. And you can either put it on directly on your face like I do. A dollop will do you. And sure, I don't ever really need it there, but it's just extra concealer. And I like to move very quickly with this because it is very fast drying. And I don't work it directly into my under eye. I kind of go around my under eye and then work it in. Okay, and I tilt my head down so that my eyelids kind of, my eye creases kind of smooth out, and I can go in and apply product without really messing with without worrying about it creasing or whatever for a minute. You don't need a lot, which is why I always kind of like confuse myself. I shouldn't have added more to this brush, but you definitely don't need a lot with this. I am heavily introverted. I don't really like to leave my house for really much of anything. Like if you invite me somewhere, and 9 times out of 10, yes, I'm happy to go, but if you cancel on me, I'll be upset. But like a night in, you want me to turn that down at 28? Yeah, okay. I wish this camera could pick up like my actual skin tone so you guys could see what I'm doing. But I feel like the only way is if I hold my hand up the entire time. You see what I mean? That looks better, but it still looks bad. Because look, that's my skin tone. Would you know? Still going in. I don't use a lot of product at a time. I just get a little bit in my brush and then I work it into my brush. I don't overload your brushes. It's not cute. And then I puff this. I puff my like laugh line area so that I can get in with it really, really smooth. Oh, if you want to know what brush this is the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. Love her. For foundation, I think I'm going to use my Juvia Place today, but I don't know which Juvia Place I want to use. If I want to use the stick and the shade Sokodo, which is this gorge shade right here. And this is described as warm tone online, which is why I bought it. Honestly, I might use this. That might be a little too warm for me, but we'll make it work because I already put it on the back of my hand. This is way too much. That's not my skin tone. I'm gonna try to use a brush that's not as dirty. So yeah, that's not my shade. We're gonna make it work for this, but it's not my shade. It is pretty though, and it blends like a dream. That's all Juvia's Place though. I'm gonna show you guys, like, do you see how not my shade that is? And I usually don't contour. I like having a fuller face and I like looking like I have a fuller face, so it doesn't bother me. Oh, and if you haven't seen it, I have technically like 10 tattoos total. I love tattoos. I love tattoos so much. Yeah, oh, the foundation that I ended up using was a Juvia's Place foundation in the shade Dakar. My music taste as of late has been very, very Mostly jazz. I've not been very big into doing much of anything else, but jazz is definitely good. I love listening to jazz like first thing in the morning because it's just like a very calm wake up, and it makes me feel like I'm going to like a very expensive bougie job. My job's corporate, but it's not bougie corporate. I love Lotto. I love Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B. I can't think of the girl's name. I think it's Cash Kyla. Ken the Man. Callie. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody else. I don't know who else I'm forgetting. Okay, the concealer I just used just now over top of my eye primer cocktail was this e.l.f. Color correcting eye brightener, and I don't remember actually what shade this is. It is the shade, and I just go on right over top. Looks pretty. It looks like my skin. Sometimes I like a bright under eye, but usually when I'm just going to work, I like it to look a shade above my foundation. It just looks the most natural, awake-ish kind of thing. I'm gonna use like two different blushes, because the one I usually use, I don't know if you guys are on TikTok and you saw people were taking like really bright color concealers and adding a bunch of like powders and pigments to it to make it into a liquid blush. That's what I did with this one. But I love it. I love the shade that it comes out to. It's very, very cool toned, which is what I like. Oh. If you guys can see that, hold on. Oh, it's very, very cool toned. Don't mind the makeup all over my hands. Very cool toned. Very, very pigmented. Like that. That's gonna be good. And I'm just gonna take that same amount on the other side. Like this stuff is so pigmented. I do have a wet beauty blender, but I like to go in with like those really, really dense. I'm pretty sure these are supposed to be used for like contour. This says slanted powder, but it's not what it's gonna get used for. Yeah, it says contour, but I'm not using it for that. I only ever use this brush for my liquid blushes. But look at that pigment. Like, it's so scary strong. But you know what? When you have Juvia's Place as a base, I get it. And I like to go pretty crazy with my blush, because once I do my powders and stuff, it's gonna kind of cancel out a lot of it. So I have been using Copper Etiquette a lot, so I'm gonna go with that one today. And just, it's so peach toned, and I don't think my camera is really picking up on it. It's very, very peachy. Yeah. So going in with that, and I'm only putting that on the extraness on my cheeks, because I like it being a little extra so you guys can see what's happening. Yeah. Sometimes I like to go a little bit more pink, but today I'm just feeling the natural. Let me turn this back on because I actually need it. Yeah. Going back in, nothing else on the back of my concealer brush, and I'm just kind of making sure that everything looks good. And I won't lie, I'm gonna share with you guys, I really love the Too Faced, what is this? The Too Faced Born This Way multi-use complexion powder, and this is in the shade Mahogany. I'm almost out of it though. And when I say almost out of it, yeah, I'm almost out of it. So I bought the Maybelline Fit Me powder, but I think I like putting these two together, this on the bottom and this on top. First, let me find a powder puff that isn't absolutely filthy. Patting it on the back of my hand and just going straight in. I'm gonna use a mirror here. so pretty. Okay, go in to my left lines. Maybelline Fit Me powder. This is in the shade Toffee. I love this one too. I love it. I like it for the actual like pigment for the shade because it allows me to go just a tiny bit lighter underneath my under eyes. But the actual formula of it doesn't do much for me. So that's why it's just a pigment powder for me. And this is the, I don't know, I'm gonna put it here because I don't know how to say it, but this is, it's pretty. I bake, okay? And I bake for as long as I can. Yeah. Okay. See, this is what we're working with. It looks a little weird, but you see it came together. Yeah, yeah. And I use my Gucci powder. This is their beauty powder in the shade 13. It looks messy on the inside, but that's her. Love this powder. And this is just a random powder brush. I think I got this brush from like Dollar General. But yeah, just take it. I kind of get messy with it because I know me, I'm gonna add a crap ton of blush on top of anything and everything. So I'm not really worried about the fact that my blush is kind of faded up to this point because I'm gonna get it back. Okay, like if you're looking at it, this might still seem like it's a lot of blush, but to me, I'm like, where did my blush go? Actually, my forehead is fine. It's just my cheeks that I'm like, I need more. I need more. So next, I think I'm gonna do my brows. So are we surprised that I'm using Juvia's Place again for my brows? This is their, what is this? The Sculpt Eye Shade, their brow powder quad. And I really stick between these two shades. Every now and then I use this, but it's really these two shades. I'm never gonna use her. I do have my old Kat Von D brush. I think I'm gonna use that today. But this was her eyeshadow brush. I grabbed this from like Sephora, like it's been a little too long. I want to say this is like 5 or 6 years old, but who knows? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I like to brush my hairs down first on both sides so that I can get the shape I want. And I'll show you guys. So going in with this very dark shade, boom, 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 tap, tap, tap. And then I'm gonna just start here. There's always this one hair that curls up regardless. Anyway. Like that shape is, yeah, that's good. That's good. Do the same thing to the other side. Flip it up. All those hairs can go up now. I do not use any sort of gel on my brows. I don't think it works. I have the gel, but I use it for my eyelashes and not my brows. I'm gonna go in and do my underside. I'm going in with the darkest shade for my underside. Oh. Okay. And I don't mind being sloppy with my underside because I'm gonna clean it up with concealer, but that's what I like to get to. They look crazy. They look crazy. And you just kind of flicking what's left on my brush up. The brows do give a little 2016, but who doesn't love a good throwback? You know what's crazy? I have to go to the store after this. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. That same cocktail that we had at the very beginning, I'm gonna use to clean up my brows. On my eyes, I'm gonna use what's left over here, honestly. I don't think I have enough, actually. What's left of that cocktail? Yeah. Okay, I think that's a very thin layer. I don't know if that will be enough. Yeah, that's enough. I'm just gonna take my powder puff. Okay, and now it's truth time. I don't like eyeshadow. As somebody who has hooded eyes, if you can't tell, most of my makeup disappears by the time I open my eyes. So I don't like to waste time putting a lot of eyeshadow on. That doesn't mean that I don't own a lot of eyeshadow. I own a ridiculous amount, and I'm not gonna use most of it. I don't want to say a ridiculous amount. I own like 10 to 15 palettes. I haven't actually counted them, but I stick to like 2 of them, so do with that information what you will. I'm gonna go in with my Natasha Denona palette. It showed up with this broken, not too much, but I'm gonna go in with this brown shade. I use this literally every day, that's if you can tell, but I go in just to add some dimension, and I go in on my crease, but I blend it pretty high up. Okay, pretty high up. It ends up going everywhere. I used to be so good at doing like all sorts of crazy, fun, cool makeup, but now I'm like, girl. I'm gonna go in with that pink, and I'm gonna just splash that on my lid. This is a Laura Mercier one. Love her. And I'm gonna take this, and this also showed up to me this way, but I really like this shade here, the broken one. Yeah, the broken one. And I'm gonna take a different fluffy brush, but I really like to use these kinds of brushes. I had one that was like a little bit fluffier, and I'm not seeing it, so I'm just gonna use this. But I just take this, do a little dab, and you guys gonna see, it does virtually nothing. But to me, I feel like I added sparkle to my eyes, so I use it. And since I have hooded eyes, the sparkle's really just, there it is. Since I have hooded eyes, the sparkle's really for me. Nobody's gonna see it. Nobody's gonna see it. For my liner, I'm using the e.l.f. liner. I really love this product, and I really love the brush on it. I have yet to meet a liquid liner that I like as much as this one. I need a mirror. I'll use my Gucci one. But I just tight line on the top. Okay. Next, I'm going to use this liquid liner to kind of re-enhance my beauty mark tattoos. So I'll show you where they are. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah. It's looking good. It's Juvia's Place. For my Juvia's Place one, I am going to use this angle brush, and this is from LIBRE. And this is my Juvia's Place powder brush. I don't know which one this is. It says volume 5 on the bottom, but it looks like this. It's that very, very Barbie pink on the top, or like a hot pink on the top, and this like softer pink on the bottom. I'm gonna use a softer pink. I rarely ever touch that hot pink, but we're gonna use that. And just, I like to go over top of my beauty marks with it. I just feel like that makes them look a little bit more natural. Okay. For Juvia's Place Eye Sculpt Eye Shade Brow Gel, I use that as like a clear mascara, or you can buy a clear mascara. I think I have a Wet n Wild one somewhere. Yep. And it's like turned, is this Wet n Wild? Yeah, it's Wet n Wild, but it's turned brown from me using it. I just like this really, really tiny brush on here, which is why I use this one. And I'm gonna just remove anything, any extra excess product that found its way to my lips. I know it kind of seems like I'm hopping around my face and just doing whatever pops into my mind, but that's accurate. That's exactly what I do every morning. So I want to use this e.l.f. lip liner, but I hate sharpening it. Love the color, hate sharpening it. This is the shade Dark Cocoa. Could have fooled me. I don't know. I feel like every shade that has Dark Cocoa, it's never dark enough for me. So I just use a Dior lip oil. And this is the shade Cherry. The one my best friend Susie got me is actually my purse, and I don't have my purse next to me, so we're using Cherry today. I'm gonna brush away my under eye bake. I know you guys are probably thinking like, she's never gonna get rid of it. Surprise, surprise. And this is what she looks like. It is very sprinkled band. It is very, very new, but this is the Morphe 350, the Super Natural Glow palette. I just needed a new neutral palette, and this is what I saw. I think I went to, I forget where I got this actually, but I'm gonna use this shade here to do like the first steps of my contour, and I just go into my nose or this little part of my brow and take it down. Not super far down, nothing crazy, just enough to kind of like create a shadow here. And then I bring that shadow down, and I only bring it down to like right here. I go in with the shade directly underneath the first shade that I used. I accidentally pressed my finger into dark, but I go in, yeah, you see that? Yeah. And just create the shadow under my nose. Back in with that initial shade. And I'm gonna go along the sides of my nose here. Okay, but yeah. As you can see, I didn't do anything in the middle bridge. I just created my button, created the shadow effect. That's really all I do. And then I go in with a powder, my powder puff that I've been using pretty much all day, and press it so it looks pretty natural by the time I'm done. I'm gonna go in with that same Morphe palette, and I'm gonna use that shade that I just used to contour my nose. And I'm gonna put that on my under eye, but I only put it right there. I don't have a mascara I like. I just feel like all mascaras are not good mascaras. But yeah, this is the So Defined Wet n Wild foundation. This is the So Defined Wet n Wild mascara. It's okay. Here we are. I don't really like to put mascara on my lower lashes, and I also don't really like highlight. But I think I'm kind of like feeling highlight for today. I'm gonna go back into this Laura Mercier palette that I showed you guys earlier, and I'm going to use the, it's like two-sided, so hold on. This is the first side that I showed you that I used, but it also has another side, and that is this side. I'm gonna go in with the white shade, and I'm just gonna use my fingertips because you can't tell, but it's not really white. It kind of shows up a little bit gold. Let's take these hair clips out. Okay. Okay, that is it. We have made it. This was so long. I really enjoyed. I wish I talked more and get you guys used to me and what I do on my channel. I was a little nervous, I will admit, and I'm not used to talking this much. So hopefully in my next video I will get better, and the video after that I will get better, and we will just continue to get better together. Thank you for sticking around. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time.